Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Anime Lounge Short Flights. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little different. I watched episode 1/4 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End, and I just had to talk about it. I couldn't keep it to myself. I absolutely loved the first four episodes. I'm calling it kind of a four-part episode one because all four episodes were launched on the first day as a 2 hour special. And man, was it amazing. I'm just really going to talk about episode one because for anybody that hasn't watched it, hopefully what I say will kind of pique your interest in as far as Frieren because man, it was an amazing episode slash episodes. Amazing way to start the series. I knew nothing about it. All I knew is that when I clicked on it, it had four episodes and then the icon. The icon has this elf girl, a purple hair girl, and I want to say a red haired male in the background. That's it. Like there's nothing really intriguing about it. It's just interesting. It's like, okay, Beyond Journey's End, interesting. Okay. And it blew me away. It really did. I don't know if it's going to be the best series of the year, but it might potentially be the best new series of the year. Um, Okinoko came out this year, so we'll see. Hard to beat that one up, but you never know because this one started off amazing. Just to kind of give a quick rundown about Frieren Beyond Journey's End. So it starts off with these group of adventurers that just came back from defeating the Demon King, which I thought was a great way to start the series. Typically, every series that deals with journeys starts with defeat, or doesn't really start with defeating the Demon King, but that's the whole purpose of the journey. In this case, it was a 10-year journey to defeat the Demon King with four adventurers. There were Hamel, Heiter, Eisen, and then you had Frieren. I'm not 100% sure that's actually how you say her name, but that's kind of how I heard it, so that's just gonna be how I pronounce it. Frieren is an elf. Hamel is the hero. Heiter is the priest healer of the group, and then Eisen is a dwarf. So the interesting part of this is they keep making mentions of just how long Frieren has been alive. They make mentions how that this 10-year journey that they went on was nothing to her. Like she was just like, oh, it's just a 10-year journey. It's just a blip. And it's crazy to think that, for once we finally get to see an anime that's based on the elf's lifespan point of view. And it's really hard to find those, and they're doing an amazing job. Another point in this first episode is that they're talking about this meteor shower that happens every 50 years. And she's like, oh, in 50 years, well, I've got this perfect spot. And the two humans were like, 50 years from now is a long time. Like, there's a chance I'm not alive. Like, it's a real instance that this happens. And then talking about how a 2 week journey to this location is nothing. And to Frieren, I mean, 2 weeks is but really a second to her. We really don't know how long she's been alive, and they make mention of that. It's like, kind of keep asking, it's like, how old are you really? And she never really responds. And I think it's really cool that they do these things that just kind of remind you, hey, she's an elf. Elf live for a very long time. And to her, nothing is, as far as time is concerned, nothing's off the table. It can take 100 years, 200 years. It's not really an issue. 10 years in this case, as their journey ended, was nothing. And you get she's starting to, towards the end of the episode, she's starting to kind of retrace all these steps of what happened between the journey because she's starting to regret not truly getting attached to these humans because she at first was like, well, they're only going to be a part of my life for essentially just a snip of time to me. Why do I want to be friends with them? Why do I want to know about them? And it's just a journey for her to start kind of trying to live in the moment instead of just living out life as an elf, which is hundreds of years. And at the end of the episode, she starts to help train a human magician named Fern. So that's one thing I forgot to mention is that Frieren is a magician elf. Pretty common, not a huge deal. But yeah, so she's helping Fern as a kind of a dying wish to Heiter, which you'll know more about him when you watch the series if you haven't watched the series yet. And just the artwork was really good. The story building, they did an amazing job, just the vastness of everything that's going on. And while it did start off kind of slow, there was no issues with being slow. I had no issues with it being slow because they just kind of help you get drawn in super well. I loved the first 4 episodes. And like I said, I don't know if this will be anime of the year. I doubt it. We got to wait and see for the rest of the series, but it has the potential to be anime of the year. And if you haven't watched this series, please watch it. It was that good. I've recommended it to everybody I've talked to. It's amazing. And it's just so well done. And I can't wait to keep watching. It's been so amazing. But that's all I've got for this episode of Anime Lounge Short Flights. Please make sure to check out the anime show on Facebook and Instagram. They've got a bunch of awesome anime content on there. And then also, please subscribe to us on this channel. Drop us a like. Please let me know what you thought of the first 4 episodes of Frieren because I cannot stop talking about this. Have a good one, everyone.